Let's see if the microphone's working all of a sudden. Alright. Looking good. Alright, now that's up and running. I am just going to do some generic gameplay for the next little while. We'll see how things go. If you have any questions about gameplay, officers, units, what I'm doing in order to grow so quickly. Of course, this is a free-to-play account, so there is absolutely no spending going on whatsoever. First thing I do every time I log in is just check what's happening. Obviously, I've been on for a little bit and I've just sent out my scout planes. You can see here the map is slowly getting scouted. Still got to claim all my free resources. So I sent them to the outskirts, and I figured, well, I'm going to be moving around my base in the middle of the map. So let's just send my scouts out to the extremities and try and push 60 gold. Nice. Alright. We'll go out that way and we'll try and work our way through back to the center of the map. Oh, I love seeing those gold icons on the screen. If anyone hasn't figured it out yet, when you zoom out of your map on the left hand side here, click on Scout, and it will show you it'll show you where all these free resources are hidden on the map. Oh, this is always good. That'll save me a little bit of time later on with my scout planes when you find a lighthouse or a radar tower. There's another one. And yeah, it does 9 grids in one go. So, always good. Oh wow, there we go. VIS level 10. Alright, sitting all the way out here in the outskirts. I'm doing this first because if I want to do some building upgrades, why spend resources when I can claim all these freebies? Look, 8 more bricks. Fantastic. Who doesn't like free stuff? Definitely getting a lot of wood. I know it's the starting phase of the game, so it's early days, so you want to be getting the basic materials. But I'm getting a lot of wood. Well, at least that was 15. Everything else has been 3. 3 again. 3 again. Now, if you send your scout planes, your scout planes collect these. If you open it up doing your map pieces, oh, they've killed my troop. If you open it up using your map pieces, then you have to collect it yourself. Alright? Now, there are some missions available as you open up different percentages of the map. All the way to 100% is the final mission. Now, because I am all about free-to-play and efficiency, I am trying to get all of the freebie rewards as early on as I can. Alright, so now I'll go back and claim. We'll close that out of that. There we go, that one was better. Someone's gone offline and left their troops out. Alright, pretty standard for early game. Oh, missed one. And some bricks. I think I jinxed myself with all this. So yeah, my scout plane will finish cleaning up this area. I've got one over here cleaning up this area. And one over here that's been working around here. You can see the lines where I've sent them out. This is where the alliance is going at the moment. So we've got 2 capture points that we're going to get. Military tech zone and then our access to Kiev. And I think that's about it for now. We'll come back to that. Alright, so you'll see I am level 18. My dog just came up and tried to steal my stuff off my table. He knows better. Legendary showroom. Nice. We did that one. Alright, so I'm up to 142. And I think there's 200. At 200 we'll get the last Percy statue. Now you can see here 883 versus 931. You just play around with your setups and you can win against harder setups depending. So obviously that was bad because his rocket launcher is there and the first target it's going to hit is my infantry. So let's give it a tank target instead. Alright, I'll try it again without the skip feature and we'll see where it is that we're losing in this battle, because I might be able to pass it. Alright, so he's going to take out my heavy before I can beat his medium tank. They're still stuck on my infantry. My rocket launcher takes out their rocket launcher. I should win this battle. It's going to come down to the mediums. Can my infantry outlast? Yeah, my rocket launcher's just not doing enough. Oh, there's a pen. There we go. Yeah, I should win this battle. So sometimes don't take the first loss as a sign that you're not strong enough. Do it a second or a third or a fourth or a fifth or a sixth time, especially with your tanks early on. Crit levels are unreliable. Alright, so if you can land a critical hit, for sure you're going to be able to defeat much stronger. Alright, so again, just switch it up. Now I'm going to sit behind my strongest unit. And there you go. Alright. So now we're winning again against much harder, stronger units, but our setup is what's winning it. Alright. So I've got infantry, which none of these are good against infantry units. Alright, now I've got artillery. That is good against infantry, so I'm probably going to lose this. Alright, so if I turn it off and we'll see where it is that we're losing. Yeah, there's 3 high health point units there. Alright, martyrs, medium, and heavy tanks are for tanking damage. Alright, so by the time I've killed them, my rocket launcher doesn't have time to get to the enemy artillery. It's going to be on me first. Yep, and now it's targeting my infantry instead of my mid-tier units. And my rocket launchers obviously trying to clean up the units closest. And that is absolutely decimating. And once my infantry goes down, these units aren't going to stay there. Yep, and that is why I am losing. Not by much, not by much. This is definitely achievable. So what can I do in this situation? I can move set up like this, so my infantry isn't being engaged first. And I might try it a second time just in case it's going to tell me to slow down because I'm doing it too quickly. The problem with this is now the artillery is hitting my infantry straight away. And now that heavy tank isn't going to be enough. I'll try it 2 more times. I'll switch the medium here because that'll push up in front of my rocket launcher. It might act as a secondary target. And then we are done. Alright, so we'll claim those extra rewards. Alright, so it's just a matter of now getting some upgrades for some stronger units. Collect from a level 4 deposit is there, and use some more rushes. Well, we just won some rushes and we collected some, so that shouldn't be too much of an issue. People are collecting bunkers. I've donated to Alliance Tech. Bunkers, we've got 5 down, so bunkers always good. That's some more resources. Alright, 4 more coupons, fantastic. I've got 20 flags there to support the Alliance. We went through and did about 50 of them already. What am I looking for? Screwdrivers, there we go. Now, you can tell this guy is new. So what he did then was he just started the bunker with my rocket launcher attacking first. So every unit that spawns from the bunker will come after my rocket launcher. First and foremost, all the damage from the bunker comes to my rocket launcher. Now, rocket launchers have 0 armor, so yeah, horrible choice. Now, if there's room, I can send him on infantry. Not anything flash, but yeah, it should be better. Pretty sure you can converge at this point in the game. Yep, converge. So that prioritizes your tank units to some extent. Game's not perfect. Oh, we got some people in the quiz. Fantastic. A chance for me to show how horrible I am with my content knowledge on the game. I still get some stuff wrong all the time. Alright, let's do this quiz and get some rewards, because we're at 0 rewards for the day. And look at all this. Yes, that's the one we want. Every day we want to get that gold officer statue. The Mirage is a French fighter. French word, French fighter, makes sense. What year did World War I end? Yes, thank you. 1918. Troops didn't fully withdraw until 1919, but 1918 was World War I's official ending. Julius Caesar was assassinated. Believed. Convert blueprints is the parts workshop, disassembly plant. Parts workshop, I think. Yeah, parts. It makes sense though, disassembly, like to convert something. Which has the best rewards? That would be legendary. Legendary 1, right? That has the highest rewards. That's where all the noobs with their credit cards play. Who was sent to the guillotine? Oh yeah, it's the 14th. No, the 16th. Ah, there we go. That is Vasily Zaitsev. Enemy at the Gates. Great movie. Now you get all of the above. You get a blueprint, a camp coupon, and prestige points for opening up a new unit. So every time you unlock any unit, it becomes available in the manuals. City contribution badges, they can be earned by collecting map resources. No. They can be earned by claiming... I didn't even finish reading them. I was so slow. How many Theatre of Conquest can an alliance sign up for at a time? 1. Just cost everyone some points. Which countries is not a permanent member of the UN Security Council? That would be... Oh... India are in and out. France and UK, obvious. Russia, I would have thought. UN? Oh well. At what level are passive skills unlocked for an officer is 30? You want to get each of your starting officers to level 30 as quickly as you can to unlock their skills. The commander base occupies... Oh, I think it's 11 or 7? Yeah, something like that. Let's 7, yeah, not great. Light tanks has the fastest base speed. How many airdrops do you get in a day? At a max, yeah, it's something insane. It's like 15. No, definitely not 20. VIP level comes into it. How did Rommel die? Rommel, yeah, it was a suicide. He took a capsule. Cyanide pill in his tooth. How do you increase the number of airdrops? Upgrade your command center. Increase your VIP level. Should be both. That's a trick question. Yeah, not great. We'll start another one. We were close to getting some ammo. Let's check out some units. $33 on my mechanic already. Let's get into the quiz. Yes, Spain. Good old Spain. Alliance contribution coins. Are donating to Alliance Tech. Very important contributions. Montgomery is Operation Market Garden. World War II. Which country did Dunkirk evacuation take place? It was France. They evacuated Dunkirk, France, back to the UK. Operation Dynamo. 43 who did German paratroopers? They saved Mussolini. Right. Yes. The Italian got himself in a bit of trouble. The Battle of Britain. I'm going to say it was 39 or 40. Yeah, you guys can keep whatever you want. Yeah. That is the Bismarck. Although the Tirpitz was one of my personal favourites. Level cap of the command center is, hang on. Yeah, 35. $32. What? Mind blank for a minute. Code name. They were water carriers. Yep, that's how they got away with them at tanks. Water carriers. Can't believe I got command center 35, not 32. I knew that was wrong. Just not focusing. Heavy tanks deal more damage to fortifications than any other tank. Battleships played a leading role. Which one was the last battle? Midway was the big one. No, I want to say it was Light Gulf or Jutland. See, it was 50-50. I need to ask a friend. How many times a day can you perform rapid resupply in campaign mode? No, it's 6. Of the following officers, the tactical still does more damage the further away you are. Is Saber of the Nation. Champion of the People and Eruptor are both siege artillery officers, but Saber's skill is the further away you are, the more damage he does. You can build 3 hangars. Same with Navy, you can build 3 shipyards. You got to sign up for it. And of course there's requirements, minimum power and alliance member count in order to qualify. World War II, which country did the Normandy landings take place? That is the France coastline. And of course they landed at the wrong part of the French coastline. What troop type are howitzers? They are personnel. You saw my my collab podcast with 44 Mag. Yeah, cheers. Some of the content didn't make it in, but yeah, overall it was a bit of fun. Which of the following stores does not contain armor wrenches? Oh no, it's campaign store, yeah. I gotta stop reading and focus. During World War II, Soviet city north. Kiev is south. Moscow's center. Leningrad or Stalingrad is north of Russia. There you go, Leningrad it was. Lucky guess at the end. But yeah, obviously with patch 14.2's release, everyone's now talking about Air Force AGs, so I did a bit of a collab with 44 Mag, which just got released yesterday, and yeah, we just had a bit of a discussion about what that's going to look like for the game with Air Force Army groups, whether or not you know, whether or not that's going to work well with formations. For anyone who's new to the game, when you create an army group, it comes up in your army group formation over here in the right hand side of the screen, and you click on a unit and it takes you to that unit's location. It doesn't allow you to select the unit. However, with ground force troops, you can select them on the ground when they're in the map. You can bring your troops out of your base, put them into an army group, and you can control them one at a time. You can tell them to go different directions. Even when they're in an army group, you can control other people's units as well. You can't do that with fighter planes. when the fighters are on the map, you can't select them, right, if they're not yours, right? So I haven't trained this, so don't worry about its level. I can't select that from the map, right? I have to come back over to here, select it, and tell it to move. I have to click and drag. Now, I can't do that in an army group because it only takes you to the unit's location, doesn't select the unit. So we're already speculating that they have to have allowed for formations so the units can be selected and moved to where we need them to go. So, and then what will that look like? Because obviously with some of your fighters, you want your tank fighter jet at the front because that's going to tank all the damage, and then your power ones at the back to kill or do whatever damage you're needing to protect your ground force troops or whatnot, or to take damage from a base while you're moving troops in so they can't come and bomb your artillery units. So yeah, it was a bit of fun having a discussion on what that's going to look like. Obviously, being so early in the game at the moment, haven't really focused on my Air Force other than to make sure that I was unlocking continuous scouting, because that's going to be the most important thing early game for advancement, is getting these scout planes out and collecting these free resources. Oh yeah. But yes, 44 Mag is a really good content creator. He is a airman. His main account is air heavy, and he's very good at it. Now I'm not going to be able to. Joys of World Chat is you can't rapid reply. You can't spam it. I've been watching and subscribed. Thank you. And give him the love heart. There we go. We always love that. So I've started my new series from zero to hero. You can see here in my name. So basically how you can build an account without making all the mistakes that we made. A lot of players drop out of the game once they realize that they put all this resources into the wrong things, and they're like, oh, I can't fix it. I put all of my statues into the wrong offices. I did all my research spread across everything, and now I'm weaker than everybody else, and they quit the game. It's really it's not good, because you put time and effort into a game you want to play, and you didn't know any better at the time, and I was one of those people. The very first person that I was putting statues into was Sergeant Spanner, and of course now I know I didn't need to, because when I complete officer missions I get his statues for free, right? I also get White Wolf statues for free. I can complete missions to get Bloody Mary statues. I can complete missions and get Percy's statues. I can buy War Machine statues from the Alliance store. So I was putting all of this really, really hard-earned gold statues into these units and upgrading them, going, wow, yeah, I'm upgrading them super fast. For what? Right? Yep. So once those better officers came out, and for anyone who's watching that isn't on one of the new servers, cool, Lady Shadow, Gen 5 officer, is in the early release of the game for new players. Not only that, if you go across to fighters, Nighthawk, Gen 5 officer, alright? So when we're talking about new players creating new accounts, you have two of the best free-to-play officers in the game available from day one. Like, that's just crazy. They've only been out a couple of months. Oh, maybe a question? Nope, that was just the friendship. Alright, so I was talking about the Jovial Bistro because I'm already up to 29 drink tokens. Now, you get Brisk Eagle statues in here. So you can see Champion of the People, Tip of the Spear, Spanner, Eruptor, Mary, Brisk Eagle, Heaven's Savior. These are some really good rewards for spending your drink tokens. However, I keep telling everyone save them. Don't spend them. The exclusive lounge opens once a month and you convert them. It's a ratio of 3 to 1. So you spend 3 drink tokens to convert into 1 exclusive lounge drink token. And the exclusive lounge gives you access to these top-end officers. Now, they're not showing up in the pre-game, probably because the exclusive lounge hasn't opened up yet on this map, but there is some amazing officers in there. They take a long time to upgrade, and as a free-to-play, I'm talking like a year before you'll get one maxed out, depending on how lucky you are, of course. I've got some claim alls, so now I've got some more EXP, some more rushes. Fantastic. Oh, I did forget my my farming truck returned. Let's see if there's some resources within the Alliance territory. There's level 1s at the moment. I really wanted some level 4s, but it looks like they're all farmed out. Now, in case you're wondering why I'm looking for within my Alliance territory to farm, that's because you get a bonus buff for farming within your Alliance zone. Alright, and I can see here that we are still building. Yes, my main account is in P2G on 87, server 87, commander 515079668. Definitely recommend going to your profile and clicking edit and setting up your name. You get one freebie, and I know from experience that it took me a couple of days before I did it, and I wasn't accepted into any of the alliances until I had changed my name. And we've just gone through it in this alliance at the moment where we're at max capacity and we're starting to kick the inactive ones, and the ones we aim for first are the ones with no names. Some of the alliances who are already stronger level than us have it on their conditions. Do not apply with a commander name because we're not going to let you in. Best commander pair for artillery. Now, obviously the best pairing at the moment is not available here because they are lounge officers with Silent Thunder, Madame Vindicta. We've got Lady Liberty, Red Heat. These officers are phenomenal for artillery late game. And at the moment, you can see what I've unlocked. Now, Tip of the Spear is versatile, he's not artillery.
With me on your side,
and just so you know, Warrior Whiz, Bomb Princess are not available anymore. You will never unlock them again. That was a one-off crossover event. That was even before I started playing the game. So I can never unlock them ever on my main account, and I've been playing for years.
Tell me who you fight for.
We got a tank officer, and Saber of the Nation is an exclusive lounge artillery officer. He has one good skill, and because he is a Gen 1 officer, he's outdated now. So I would not be investing in Saber of the Nation. If you ask me about current officers for artillery, Lady Shadow, hands down. All right, if you can invest in Lady Shadow, she is a Gen 5 officer, which puts her above everyone else here in every category. You put her on infantry, you put her on a tank, you put her on artillery. she's the best officer available in the game on any new server. No questions asked. Anything. And she's versatile. She goes on everything. All right. Her damage coefficient of 1500 plus a bonus. All right. Then she offers a 15% damage intensity buff. She offers a 22% normal attack boost. All right. You put that on a light tank or infantry. Phenomenal. ATG, normal attack boosts are really, really good on those kinds of units. And then she gets a 15% officer skill boost. So she adds another 15% to her tactical skill and any other officer you assign with her. And her passive skill, a 20% firepower buff and a 20% HP buff. But here's the kicker. Her awakened skill, right? So deals skill damage to an enemy of 1500. If no enemies are within one map grid of the officer, it deals extra skill damage of another 300. So 1800 damage coefficient. And she also calls in an airstrike, dealing a further 300 up to 3 enemies. So it's an area of effect skill. So while you're targeting one unit, if there's a group of them, it's also going to splash and hit the enemies around, right? However, it says enemies within 2 map grids. So really army group, officer, area of effect damage. You can see it there, AoE, area of effect. And the damage will not exceed 20% of the hit points or the max HP. So you can see I've paired her up with Antonina Shevchenko. It's going to take forever to upgrade Antonina, but for early game focus, the reason why you want her is because her awakened skill adds 1 map grid range to your artillery units. So rocket launchers will start firing at 4 map grids, and artillery goes from 5 to 6. All right. So yeah, really good. And that works on defense as well. So if you have her on artillery in your base gets that +1 fire range from her being on defense. So very handy. I was very late on getting that lighthouse. My scout plane had almost finished doing all the work. Do I have... Where are my scout planes at the moment? Let's see where they're scouting. See if they've opened up some more resources. I should check the jurisdiction event. I've got 45 minutes left to complete building. All right. So I do want these resources. Let me go build something. Carp 420. What server is this on? This is the new server, 213, I believe. Yep, 213. Brand new server. I decided I'd make a new account so I can jump in and support people. You get a lot of content creators who are doing some fantastic content, but it's not helping new players. So when you're talking about the new metas, the strongest officers, the strongest units, and how to set them up and what skills to assign, if you have a look here, we have no skill assignments, right? We don't have access to the strongest officers. The units available at the moment are low level. We're talking 6, 7 stars. There's no one with modern mechanics yet. This is early stages of the game, and people are talking about Warpath being on par with the amount of players that we hear about who are leaving, and then the amount of new players coming in. Who's supporting the new players, right? So here I am trying to do my part for the community, and hey, if I can jump in, that's why I jumped into FD3. So FD, whatever that stands for, apparently it's Federation, but I've spoken to several members in the main FD group, and it should stand for something completely inappropriate because they are all F and Ds. But what they've done is they've taken the core players on the server who are all starting new accounts, so they're all experienced players. They've grabbed new accounts on a brand new server, and they're going around farming everyone and killing them. These are people who are new to the game and wanting to enjoy it and learn it, and they're just taken over. And instead of taking these players under their wing and saying, hey, this is how to play the game, this is how to grow your account, they're just going around blocking builds and killing people and doing their own thing. And then people wonder why the servers die really quick. So, yeah, it's disappointing. So I jumped into FD3 because these are the guys who couldn't get into an alliance because they're not good enough or whatever reason. So, yeah, I'm going to help these guys grow and learn, and all my information and content is going out onto World Chat. So I'm helping people in other alliances. I've been doing it all for the last couple of days. Who's this chicken? Should I max out Antonina or not? Lady Shadow. TW Chicken. Or Chianki 02? I wouldn't know how to pronounce that. I am horrible at pronouncing things. Alright. Now I am mindful that I'm going to run out of time to complete this jurisdiction. Do I have any 14s? Yes. Ah, terrible. Claim some rewards. Now I always go and check my officers, so we're after some experience. One of the missions I've got, I'm probably going to reset these 2 units in order for me to advance in my campaign. You can see here the one mission that's holding me up is to have 5 level 50 units. So I might quickly... Oh, they're in the army group, aren't they? Nope, they've been returned. Fantastic. So I'll reset my squads. I'm going to remove my troops. If you're watching this and you come and attack my base right now, please don't. I have no army defending it. So let's go. Reset. So it doesn't reset the unit's level. What it resets... Did I remove the right unit? I moved it accidentally. Alright, that makes sense. So yeah, you can't reset the unit's level, but you can reset it back to level 1, which pulls all the experience and components and its parts off. Alright. So let's put them back now. Infantry. Rocket launcher. And we're only going to go to level 50. And it's probably not going to be beneficial for me to then go in. If I don't get to level 50, I'll have to reset again. Well, the last unit anyway, and put that experience back into this so I can go complete some more missions. I want to do some campaign for you guys to show you how easy it is getting up the campaign levels with only putting your resources into 2 units. Now I'm only doing this for the quest. I don't think it's going to be enough. Fingers crossed. If I can get there, that would be fantastic. It'll be tight. Oh, yeah, we got there. And I did all that just to claim this. So I get the chapter rewards. Look at that, 1,000 gold, 200 energy, and more building materials. And of course, now I get to unlock the next chapter, which is chapter 21. So complete campaign 3 out of 16 on chapter 3. Upgrade barracks, forge unit parts 3 times. Oh, I've done all my forging. See, I did it too soon. I should have done this sooner. Disassemble parts, research electrification. How far am I from electrification? Wow. Alright. But it is the last level of conquest campaign missions, so that's good. Where am I at the moment? You can see here I haven't maxed out my research. You don't need to. Do the bare minimum. So in order for me to get to level 80 cap, it says down here I only need level 4 command and control. To get that I only need level 4 of these 3. So I'm only going to go to level 4. Do what you need to. Alright, I don't play tanks. Lady Shadow is versatile. Goes on everything. Yes, we've completed the build. We'll pack up and move. Oh, not too many spots available. Yeah, components, good. I'll have to reset my units again in a second. I might just reset all of them and I'll show you how and why I set them up. Oh, I've got a couple of bit of experience there. Just while I'm moving my truck, with officer experience, each level increases the troops' firepower or the troops' health points, one at a time. So if I find an odd level, here we go. Like Bloody Mary is level 23, so she's at 12 and 11. When she gets to 24, it'll be 12 and 12. War Machine's at 22, so you can see 11 and 11. And at level 30 is 15 and 15. It goes up, alternating. My YouTube channel, yeah. I did post it earlier. Can't remember who I sent it to. It's P2G Super Spoon -H9V. Good old YouTube. Apparently it told me Super Spoon was taken. Go figure. I love this waypoint dynamics. Look at this. Just go where you were supposed to go. Yes, now it jumped straight to my scouting plane because when the scout finished scanning that zone, it started returning home because my base was out of base mode. Where do I want to send it? Oh, resources. We'll send him up there. Go finish cleaning. Now I'm going to get a nice big line over there. Oh, nice pocket over here. What do we got? Sometimes I want a radar just to help finish opening up the map. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove these units and I'm going to reset everything and I'll build an army worthy of Mordor. For you uncultured people, Lord of the Rings. Look, it costs 20 to do it. Doesn't bother me. Why is there only one level on the low? I don't even remember doing that. Alright, so in here, let's think. Heavy tank. So my 2 front lines, and then the medium. And I probably want a second I think I was working towards a second, but I want to upgrade my rocket launcher first. If I had a light tank or an ATG, which I don't at the moment, I'd probably put that in. Martyrs infantry are good for tanking. Liberty infantry is good overall. It's the average. It's the best of both worlds. Not super strong and not weak. So Martyrs has more health, less power. Vanguard has more power, less health. How do I pronounce this? Trugi Duong 9934. I probably butchered it. Hey, Trugi. So I just typed in the chat. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Yeah, so with infantry, I'll probably do a video on infantry, well, all the unit breakdowns actually. So the Liberty infantry is the overall, it's good for all situations. It also has a special ability with a smoke grenade. So it's pretty useful. It basically disables the enemy's attack and reload time. It resets it. So that's pretty good. So there's no specialization. It's all-round gameplay. Whereas the Vanguard infantry does the highest damage output, but it's very fragile, has very low health points. And the Martyrs is the opposite. It has the highest health points available, so it's good at tanking and taking damage. Oh, we found a lighthouse. That's going to save some time. Oh, and we got some more gold. 240, that's the highest you can get. So that right there was perfect. I like that. You can see there's some more gold around here. Oh, thank you. Yep. Basically, I am part of the WARPATH content creator zone. Alright, so you can apply to be a content creator. You got to meet some criteria and post a certain number of videos and do these things, and then you get accepted. And yeah, there's levels to it. So those people like 44 Mag, for instance, Deathwish, More Scopes, these kind of guys, VN Warpath, H, these guys are top tier content creators. They've been doing it a lot longer than I have, so they've got way more videos, way more subscribers. But yeah, if I'm going to get access to supporting you guys and get access to more of the things, I need to work my way up the ranks. I got a long way to go to get to any of them. Alright, now I was creating my army before I got distracted again. How much time do I have left on my jurisdiction? I'm down to 30 minutes, oh my gosh. Alright. So yes, you want to max out your front line and your back line. Alright, so I'm not getting to level 80 yet, so I want to max this out at 60. So I've got a really good tanking officer unit and a really good firepower unit to support from behind. I'm not going to put anything into anything else until I'm finished with these units. So this is my main unit, so straight away I'm going to put the top of whatever is available, the best, into this. Alright. I want it to last a long time. Now I'm going to use my components to do the upgrades. Now this is where you get to specialize a little bit, because if you don't have enough components to unlock the whole area, what you can do is prioritize. You do one here, one here, one here, and accesses blast mitigation, and then I can max out blast mitigation if I just want a strong defensive infantry. firepower, and smoke bomb, right? So that's a one-off. So say I don't want to increase firepower, I want to increase health. Now I've got max health. If I run out of components, that would be perfect. My infantry is now targeted as a defensive bunker mode infantry. I don't want to put too much into this because I want to put some into the rocket launcher. So let's max out blast mitigation. Firepower's next. Speed I do last. I don't care about my infantry speed. In actual fact, I don't want it leaving my tanks in my front line. Infantry is slightly faster than tanks, for obvious reasons. We might just leave it there before I go any further. So now I'll assign my rocket launcher components. And you can see here that it's leveling up really quickly. Now I'm putting all my mechanics into here, so I'm buffing it. It's look at that, 48.5% health and firepower buff on this unit already. Pretty cool. And again, not interested in blast mitigation. Accuracy for the rocket launcher is important. Health points not important. Accuracy is important. Firepower is just as important. So you can see here, I'm trying to maximize my output of this unit. And the dilemma remains, do I want to finish and get into the second tier? Alright, or do I go back here and max out my frontline infantry so it lasts longer and I can... So this is where you get to reset and toy and play around. If it doesn't work, I can always reset it and put more power back into my rocket launcher. Alright, don't want speed, don't want... Oh, blast mitigation, yes. Don't want speed. Alright. And HP. Firepower and smoke bomb prep. So if I can prep my smoke bomb a little bit quicker, right? So you can see I didn't have enough components to max out this, which is why I wanted to stop and go back to my rocket launcher first before I did anything else. Alright, now that my front line and my back line are fixed, whatever I've got left is going into here. Now, the theory behind maxing one unit at a time is to not spread your resources thin. If you start spreading your resources across multiple units, you get multiple weak units. Which is the dilemma that I just explained to you about putting components into my rocket launcher when I don't have a maxed out infantry. Alright, so I'm just short on experience. I'm getting my third level 60. But I can promote it. Oh, that is so tempting. The question is, though, do I want to upgrade a Vanguard Heavy, a Vanguard Medium? I can wait for my Super Heavy, or I can even upgrade my Vanguard Bomber. I could change it out for a Liberty Bomber, but all of my resources for Liberty is going in for the infantry. So to go Liberty Air and Liberty Ground at the same time is not advised. Pick one unit from each faction. Early game. Alright, let me stress that that is an early game thing. Yes, FD3 is still recruiting. I don't know, what are we, 62 out of 67, so still room for 5 more. Yeah, we're still, still got a lot of new player inactives that can be removed as well, as with all alliances. Now, there's one important buff that people forget, and that is down here. At the moment, I am on a 16% base troop intensity damage resist buff, alright, with some other details. In order to change that, you just mess around with your weaker units. So now it's 18% because I put in a Liberty. So I've got 1 Vanguard, 1 Martyr, 2 Vanguard, 3 Vanguard units, 2 Martyr units, 2 Liberty. So 3-2-2 split. So that's the maximum I can get at the moment is 18%. When you get another upgrade, I think it goes to 21%. Then when you get to Navy, it goes up to 31%. But damage intensity is the most beneficial upgrades you can get in any aspect of the game on most accounts. And it's the one thing that people buy those legendary items and sets for, to increase their collector, right? Their collector level. And the reason why you want to increase your collector level is because everything gives you bonus points, right? And increases, right? So at the moment, my tank and helicopter buffs are there, right? So look at that. Like, we've got collectors in the game who are way up here at the top end of the spectrum, and the buffs these guys get is just unbelievable. A weak unit for them would obliterate every single one of my units maxed out, because their collector level gives them massive buffs. So go into damage intensity, look at that. At the moment, looking at 18% damage intensity. Obviously, that gets into the hundreds, right? So, yeah, later stages of the game, that gets up into the hundreds. Alright, so 18. Alright. 4 cement bags and some... Yep. That's not good. I was sitting there wasting time and not collecting something. I'm getting slack. Right, let's quickly have a look. We got some coupons. Actually, jurisdiction. What's coming up in 20 minutes? Lightning research. Alright, so I'm not touching research until 20 minutes time. If you're going to do something, get some free points while you're at it. Happy days. I love that, because now I go to my manual and I get to claim the rewards of unlocking 2 new units, which means more coupons, more prestige, more blueprints. Alright, when you go camps, that's your prestige, and your prestige gives you, at different levels, different bonuses. You can also get some crate rewards as well, not just gold. Alright, so I've got no more Bloody Mary missions. I've completed them all. So as far as her officer statues, like that's virgins. As close as I can get.
Sharon Percy reporting.
Almost maxed Percy. Let's have a look at the Percy. Now I'm at a clear disadvantage when I had 5 units before. It's saying, are you sure you want to try this? And I'm like, yeah, I'm a sucker. Gonna get obliterated. Yeah. Still not there yet. someone starting the Alliance quiz. 1 minute ago. Alright, we'll quickly jump in and help. What do we got? 20 seconds. So legendary showroom. You get one freebie every couple of days. So that's always good. You get free coupons for liking the skins. Oop, one click too many. I'm pretty sure Covert Mason's pack does not increase training speed. Not sure. Statue of Liberty came from France. And of course the US returned the favour with the Eiffel Tower. World War I was Austria or Poland? I can't remember. World War I. Belgium. Oh, there you go. At what level does a unit unlock the part mechanic feature? Is it 30? 20 or 30? The part 1. 40. No, 40 is unlock all of... Oh well. During the time of Genghis Khan, Jalaluddin was... Yes. The Prince of Khwarazm. I have no idea how to pronounce that. Who suffered the most casualties? That would be Russia. Self-inflicted, of course, if anyone knows their history. No retreat. Anyone who retreated from battle got shot, so they killed more of their own people than the enemy did. During D-Day, landing site had the highest number of casualties. Was either Omaha or Utah. Omaha or Utah. How long does the Alliance skill production mandate last? Is 8 hours. We got an 8-hour buff. I see there's a couple more viewers on at the moment, guys. If you have any questions, just reach out, put them into chat. Whose statues can you purchase in the Alliance store? That is War Machine. You get 10 per week. Or 20 once you get the upgrade. What has the longest firing range is howitzers. Rocket launchers is 3 map grids, howitzers is 5, infantry is 2, and heavy tanks is 2. What barracks capacity of max level barracks is 120 max capacity? 120? Or is it 102? Oh, say 102. Yeah, see? I'm a bit tired today. Which of the following unit types has the fastest base speed is light tanks? Rookie errors. What does not increase a unit's power? Leveling it up, equipping parts modification, or upgrading barracks? From which event can you acquire Golden Conqueror unit skin? Is the legendary showroom. Although I think it's been removed, so they really should update this question. The primary Allied commander. I'm going to say that was Eisenhower. Montgomery was Market Garden. Patton was the Africa. Who's... See, my history is all over the shop. How many Raven Spy levels are there? No, I think there's 50. Who knows? I'm having a really bad day today. In World War II, which country did Dunkirk evacuation take place? France. If I'm wrong, I'll eat my hat. Yep, you got it wrong. I was the only one that selected 50. It costs 30. 30 energy. There's 50 levels. Who wrote The Total War? Total War. Ludendorff? Yeah, or was it? Too many books. Which US president proposed the Star Wars program? Is it Truman or Reagan? Star Wars program. Which battle did Napoleon begin his rise to prominence? The Siege of Toulon was his first win. Of course, his prominence didn't arrive in Waterloo. That was his downfall. Yeah, no one wants to remember the battle in which you lose. Oh, look at the cats. Insufficient items. So I wonder, what are we missing? Yeah, I didn't think so. I've definitely completed enough missions to have rewards sitting around for that. At 11 minutes left, I'm probably not going to make it to the end. I'm into universal rushes now. That's not good. So I should really think about stopping where I am. I try not to use universal so early on, unless it's super important. So I got 10 more 15 minutes. So what's that, 2.5 hours? I like Brisk Eagle. It is a bomber. Not sure why I did that. Alright. One more there. Log in there. And then I gotta wait for day 5. Yeah, you guys keep working on that. No more questions. Interesting. Now I'm not spending my resupplies yet, because now I'm going to go past some levels. probably the one time I needed to upgrade my fighter. Just change the order of these. I just need to make sure that when that heavy tank comes, my infantry unit is at the front. Z Gaming 9958. Hey mate, how you doing? Is it like German? Z Gaming? Maybe Z is short for something? There we go, so he's engaged my infantry first and gets obliterated. Auto attack. Infantry's at the front line, so they'll come and target that first. This looks like a pretty easy one overall. No need to use my bomber. It'll get obliterated with these fighters. I didn't upgrade my fighter. Now I've got to wait for my infantry to come back. There we go. Kill them all. So you don't even have to take out all the enemy in half of these. Just had to reach the zone. I have done it with 5 light tanks. I just rushed straight down the middle and drove into the circle. As soon as a tank reaches the circle, you win. You didn't even need to attack anything. There was a shipping yard mission where you had to blow up the oil crates, and it's swarming with enemy units everywhere. You send in one bomber, bombs the oil crate, and you win. Why waste your time killing the units? Alright, again, bring... I have no idea why the starting formation is always the worst setup available. Like, if you can pick the worst setup available, that's the one that the game gives you as your starting formation. It puts your weakest unit in the front line every time. So simple strategy. Set up your formation first. Right, and then go through and attack some stuff. Alright, that's the experience we want. We need to complete as many of these missions as we can and get that experience up ASAP. Oh no, I went into a zone. And howitzers. Alright, let's pick off one with our bomber. It's okay if we only pick off one. You've got 3 minutes to win the battle. So I could, you know, send in my fighter as a tanking unit, send in the bomber, pick off one. Right, it's almost dead, it'll die on the second drop. And it'll return. And I could send it back and kill off like 3 or 4 of them before the timer reaches 0. Alright, so now I'll send it back again. We'll pick off this one. And that'll just make things a little bit easier on my troops. I'll have to drop the stream link into chat. So you can see infantry holds up well. That's why I put all those components into it. And the rocket launcher just sits back and does the damage from behind. Rocket launcher is faster than the infantry, which is why I gave it that that space when I do the auto attack. Last thing you need is it overtaking. Oh, now we got some heavy tanks. Infantry versus heavy tank is a win. Infantry versus a super heavy is a super win. Any other units in there that I need to bomb? No. So I'm free to do as I please. I normally just go for something close. We'll pick off the one at the back. Anything you want to discuss, just ask in chat, guys. We can talk about the new part of the game. If you're on 213, who's starting out, happy to answer any questions about getting started, what's going to work well for you, what to focus on. If you're an older player and you want to talk about the patch update or what's happening in the community, progressions. Obviously, there's certain things that I'm privy to as a content creator that haven't been released yet. I can only talk about things that I've got approval for, but I will answer as best I can. Sometimes I find it beneficial not to come in with all my units. Yep. every now and then a unit gets in the way, and they have to reroute. They recreate a new path to get around each other. So sometimes coming in with 5 units is the worst thing that you can do. Oh. This way. See what I mean about pathing? It's something the game's been trying to resolve for a while. Super heavy, so he's engaged my heavy tank before the infantry, which is fine by me. So you can see after every level the resupply rate increases. So why would I want to waste my daily resupply early when I'm going to go and complete a whole stack of missions? Sometimes I like doing it this way, and you bait them out one at a time. Sometimes you trigger all of them to rush. It is what it is. Should win this one. I'll do one more and I'll go back into the map because we've just ticked over in the jurisdiction, so I can get started on the next one. Yeah, triggered them all. Mass evacuation. So let's see what's going on first. Play catch up and pass that one. Disassemble parts, forge. Not too worried about those missions. Not just yet. Got an hour on the build. Alright, new jurisdiction. Tech research. Now I was going to oh, it's not going to let me. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Can you move your base without airlifts? Oh, good question. Yes. Pack it up and drive. Click on your base. Recall. And then pack up your base. So zoom out, click on your base, change it into truck mode and drive it away. All right, I'm obviously not going to do it now because it will reset my timer. Oh, we got an old man. Flop. DBFA. Don't be FA. Yep. Sounds about right. And his name is Flop. That's unfortunate old man syndrome. Right? No longer sustains the ability of, you know. Hence, he's nicknamed himself Flop. Makes perfect sense. Alright, do I have any other buildings? Alright. No, no, no. Good. So let's focus in on some researchers. Alright, so we'll put on a new research. It's 24-hour research. It's not going to give that many points. Researchers early on are very, very low-level points. So if you can get to the second one on each of your jurisdiction events, that's a good amount of gold and more resources and rushes. I was toying with the idea of doing the next campaign mission, researching to electrification. It'll give me an extra collection troop, but at this point, there's some other missions that we want to focus on. I need to kill 400 Raven troops. That's gonna not be fun. But more importantly, when you go through all of these events, there's actually a lot of rewards on offer. The biggest one is the Distract and Destroy, and I completed that first and foremost because those wrenches are absolutely insanely vital. Make sure you're finishing the Distract and Destroy event. Obviously, at the end of day 7, we get this guy unlocked for free if you're going to become an air person. We've got some missions here that we want to... wrong one. We want to get these statues, but it's Commander Contribution, right? You can always check what it is. So I've got 85 days to complete all these level 1, 2, 3, 4. So earn contribution points, daily missions, and mission challenges. So mission challenges here. So you've got to get to a level 64, which means military. Right? There's no way I'm getting level 200 units. 6-star modification. Enlisting units. Obviously, I've done 327, so I'm getting there. Deploy a unit with a level 36 mechanic. I'm up to 33. So, creating parts and building power. This is a good one for advanced players, like top level. This is your gear event. As you get higher, you'll learn about gear and assigning them to your officers. Evenly matched now. Still going to get my butt whipped. Try it one more time if I move over this way and try and engage the artillery last. Look at that. I'll take that. I'll get a couple more wins out of it now until I get another artillery round. Ouch. Now I've got rocket launcher and artillery hitting my infantry first. Worst thing that can happen. ATG against infantry, good for me. Nah, I'm not going to win. But when I can pass that level, there's another 50 statues to Percy. That's what I want. Occupy 30 villages with your alliance. We're getting there. You from 209 Agnes. We got a new member, Yibok. That's about all I need from there. Now, odds are I'm not going to get any more. What did I need? Level 4. If you see before, I was checking in the Alliance assists how many people helped, so I can have up to 14 assists. That does require 14 players to be online, which is why getting an Alliance early on is extremely important. weird thing to ask. First message is, don't worry, it's fine. I wonder if that was actually meant for me. What's coming back? No! My scout plane is returning. Alright, buddy. Go to work. Do your thing. There you go. Clear that one. Is it? Cot letter 3066. Hey, nice stream. Thank you. Yeah, just doing what I can to support new players on the new servers. If you got any questions or anything you want to talk about, just throw it into the chat. Yep. Yeah, you're definitely the wrong. I am definitely not her. At least, not her last time I checked. Let's open up some of these blueprints. Now, one of the things that I haven't covered yet is the disassembly. So, when you get into part disassembly, you're going to end up with a multitude of these parts. You can go through quick disassembly. I like to go through and filter. Right. So if I'm doing Liberty, obviously I've got my Liberty infantry. So I want to leave infantry and I can get rid of everything else. Liberty howitzers is something that I'm going to play later on. So I can remove howitzers and anything for these other units. I'm not fussed, I'll get rid of it. So then I can go quick select, disassemble. Alright. So it gives me some crafting materials there. And then you can reset the filter and go again. Vanguard. Obviously at the moment, ATG is what I want. I would like an ATG. At the moment I'm tossing up between either a heavy or a super heavy for early game. So I'll deselect them. Everything else is there. So I don't need these except one of those if I get an ATG. Martyrs is my rocket launcher. And my howitzer, if I get a Martyrs howitzer, no, I'll go all rocket launcher. Let's play it. They share the same parts. Who am I kidding? Alright, so I can disassemble all that. There goes my disassembly. Look at that, 300,000 resources, fantastic. That's going to put me in high. Are you talking or not? I'm going to leave. Thank you. What's the best way to get Silver Plus blueprints? Campaign straight away. All right. As you progress through your campaign missions, the next mission. So here I'm already up to silver blueprints. In chapter 3 is up to silver. When you craft any blueprint, you always have the possibility of it jumping a level. All right. So yeah. So if you're crafting silver blueprints, you always have the chance of a silver plus. If you're crafting silver plus, you have a chance of a gold plus, and a gold plus has a chance to going to gold double plus. So hopefully that helps. So just continue completing your missions. So that's what I was saying in the early game. I'm just going to block this guy. What's thank you? Yeah. We'll just block this guy. Looks like they've caught a player with their troops out of their base. That should be an easy destruction. Yeah, you missed out a little bit earlier, but I'll talk you through it. So with my army group, I'm just playing the units that came to me straight off the bat. I haven't... the only addition from using my universal coupons was the rocket launcher. I wanted an ATG or an artillery. Rocket launcher came up first. So essentially, you start the game with your Liberty infantry. All right. So that's where I put most of my resources into maxing out my Liberty. Now, in terms of infantry units, Liberty is the best overall. It has medium power, medium health. Whereas if you go Vanguard, Vanguard infantry has maximum damage output, but it's very weak. Whereas Martyrs is the opposite. Doesn't do much damage, but it's an absolute tank. Its health points are phenomenal. All right. So depends on the purpose. If I was to get another infantry unit, definitely I'd go Martyrs, because I play infantry as that frontline defense. So that's why I've got the heavy tank in there at the moment, just to support. I can alternate between frontline tank or frontline infantry based on what troops I'm up against. If there's lots of rocket launchers and artillery, infantry won't last long. I want the tank in the front line. If I'm up against lots of tanks, I put the infantry in the front line, because when they go into bunker mode, they survive the longest. And then in the second tier, I have my artillery. These troops don't matter. Not at the moment. Right? Early game, you want to pump all of your resources into maxing out just a couple of units. So I only have these units here to give me the highest skill bonus possible. If I remove that medium, you can see that now I'm down to 13%. All right, bonus. So by putting that back in, now I'm up to 18%. All right, so you want to keep all of your slots full, maximizing your bonus, but also tweak. Right, you got to have a mixture of different factions and numbers to get the highest buffs possible. So yeah, good question. In terms of officers, I spoke about that earlier as well. You guys have access to Lady Shadow. She is by far the best free-to-play officer. She's a Gen 5 officer. She's the newest one that's available. All right, so all of these officers are all Gen 1. However, she is Gen 5, which means her skills are just more than 5 times better than all the other skills here. Put her on an officer, she's versatile, she will obliterate every single one of these officers. Not even close. Like, skill-wise, not even close. If you're going to put resources into any of these officers, do her first. And then put her on whatever your main attacking unit is. Yeah. And that was the same with the fighters, right? Nighthawk is a Gen 5 officer. These are all Gen 1s. I think actually Rictus might have been a Gen 2 lounge officer. But as for the rest of them, Nighthawk Gen 5, the rest are all Gen 1s. Right? You're maxing a medium Vanguard tank. Is that any good? Yes and no. So in terms of your medium tanks, same deal. Liberty medium tanks are faster, right? So if you're going for speed, the Liberty medium is the fastest. The Vanguard medium has the highest firepower, right? So you, out of all three of them, you've got the highest damage output. But then the Martyr's medium self-repairs. So if you're in an attack and then your troop is halfway across the map, it will heal itself when you're not in any attacks at the moment. It has a self-repair. So depending on your setup and your structure and your gameplay, the medium, Martyr's medium is primarily what I go for, because I can run around and snipe troops on the map with it, and then when I'm not killing the troops, it heals itself, and then I can go and kill more troops again. So it's still early days. There's no events and there's no big battles at the moment. So yeah, probably Vanguard's a good way to go. It maximizes your firepower output, doesn't it? So the more firepower you have, the more missions you can complete faster. Which is what I was supposed to be doing right now. I'm supposed to be doing missions. The more missions I do, I want to get more experience and max out a couple more units. All right. Just checking what's going on the map. We'll go back to alliance mode. So you can see we're going for the node in Kiev. That opens up soon. A few more hours. Nope. I thought it was 16 hours. 16 days. We got hours on. We got plenty of time on that. This one's open already. This is what we're building towards. We're almost there. You have 200 tickets. Yeah. If you're on one of the new servers, and like you can see here, I'm already at a 6.1, we call it. So yeah, it's up to you when you want to use them. It depends on, if you're on 213, you're not going to get an arms race event. All right. Same as jurisdictions, you can't save. So when you get to the higher level, if you don't use, so this would go into a saved section, and you can save up to 3 jurisdiction events. We can't do that at the moment, so whatever I don't get now disappears. But yeah, if you have a look at daily events, or there's no future events there. So yeah, I'm not expecting an arms race event in the first week on 213 anyway. If you're in a different server, maybe that's different. If you're wanting to maximize, or battle honors, yeah. If you're wanting to maximize your payout, battle honors is the way to do it. But like I said, I'm not sure that there's going to be an arms event or a battle honors in the first month. So it's up to you if you want to hold on to them and wait. I'm spending mine because I'm getting a lot more rewards by completing missions. Hope that makes sense. Speaking of, yep, I can go get another 10. Oh, another Manchester bomber. Oh, you're in my alliance. Then upgrade your troops. Look, it's your preference. It's been so long since I've been on a map that started right at the very beginning. Like I said, I'm not expecting an arms race or anything of that caliber anytime soon. We're putting together an international team for server 217. Why are you advertising on 213? No one can jump from 213 to 217. Advertising on the wrong server. Not only that, I don't even think 217 exists. Nope. Do we... This guy's seeing something that I don't see. There's no 217. .213 is the new one. Build 2 is full. Yep, so jump ahead. Clever. But yeah, look, it depends where you're up to. If you're not completing... Yeah, maybe. Going on vacation. I can't wait for radar missions to get to level 5. That'll be maxed out once it gets to level 5. Alright, I do need to complete some more of these so I can claim my daily resupplies. I always push as far as I can first before I go to claim. See if I can bait the heavy tank out. Here, tanky, tanky, tanky. Now they want to hit my infantry. They all come out of position. I'll pick off one at the back with my bomber. And now that they're all within firing range, I'm just going to go auto attack. And that'll be done. My front line tanks the damage. My rocket launcher obliterates everything. Happy days. Win, win, win. But yeah, upgrading your unit early game is very important. Oh, this is a fun one. Protect the artillery. Let the artillery do the damage for you. If you're not fast enough, the artillery drives off without your knowledge. Crazy stuff like that. Get up there. So this is one where I just like to move my troops up bit by bit. Let the enemy engage you. Artillery does the damage. Yes. I'm not fussed that that died. It's weak, it's annoying. We'll do coordinated march. Tank hunter won't do much versus my artillery. Of course, infantry won't get in range. So yeah, spending coupons, maximizing your units, getting as far into the campaign missions as you can, it just gives you all of those additional rewards. And they're really, really important early game. Especially if you're trying to complete the missions for... Oh, I was not paying attention. No, I'm going to lose my artillery. Protect it. Oh well, I'm going to have to restart this mission. I forgot about the blindside attack. Oh, may have saved it. This is an account just for the new server. I'm just here to support players starting in the game for the first time. Yeah, there's lots going on in the game right now with players coming and going. So, no, my main is on 87 in the P2G Alliance. We are a Gold 1 Alliance. Very well respected, mind you. We could be much higher, but we do a selective recruitment. So we definitely knock back a lot more players than we take in every C4. We do a steady growth, and we meet our targets. So we don't want to grow too fast and have a whole heap of influx of players who are inactive or don't match or suit our playstyle. Yeah, if I can show some people how to set up their accounts, how to maximize the early gameplay, how to get ahead, that way you guys don't have to spend on the game. Everyone's like, I'm always coming up against these people with these officers and these units, and I can't compete. I've got to go spend money to keep up with them. No, you don't. Really, it comes down to strategy at the end of the day. If you set your account up right, your officer selection, your unit selection, you know how to play it properly, you make the right choices at the right time, and the rest is history. You're gonna at least be able to compete. If someone comes into the game and drops $1,000, I would be upset if I was that guy and a free-to-play player was able to annihilate me. I would be like, why am I paying for these upgrades if I'm constantly getting beaten? I might just be a crap player. Oh, nice. WRK. Definitely no WRK. Which WRK are you in? So some of you are coming to my stream because of yesterday's collab with 44 Mag. We were talking about the potential for Air Force AGs. It says coming, and that's all we know. No specifics. We don't know what it's going to look like. There's talk around it being like the Navy AGs. It'll start at 6. They'll get some player feedback, and then it could increase to 9 after a couple of months. Are we expecting naval AGs to now increase as well in alignment with the ground force army groups? All speculation. We're just guessing. In a perfect world, okay, let's just say natural progression. Army groups for fighters is happening. That affects, you know, aspects of the game like selecting units, controlling your tanking unit to come in front. I thought I saw WRK in both of the Warbound leagues. I thought there was multiple WRKs, same as Goth. Goth had like 3 teams in Warbound. The only contact I have with Legendary 1 is when your players inquire about dropping down to join us. To put it bluntly. Like, I follow along because you guys just absolutely obliterate everyone on the map. It's crazy. I like checking for new metas and setups and stuff, and sometimes we come up with some strategies as well, doing our gameplay testing, and then in the next C4 we see it being played in, you know, the top leagues, and we're like, fantastic, we created that. So it goes both ways. And that's half of my strategy job. Half of my role in P2G is coming up with strategies to defeat whale accounts and stuff. So whether we can swarm them, whether we can out-tank them, defend them, changing skills and stuff like that on officer pairings. I've just come off the test server the other day for light tanks. Me and another friend have done over 600 battles just testing different setups on light tanks to find out the new meta. I'm not sharing it, but I can tell you now, it may not include an exclusive lounge officer. Yep, the most powerful light tank setup may not even need a lounge officer. When you pair it with certain skills and gear, it outperformed a couple of lounge officers. So, yeah, you'll have to watch our gameplay and see if you can catch it. Because I'm definitely not sharing it before we get to put it into use. We've just finished the testing. Yeah, possibly same alliance, they just split into 2 teams. There is a delay between the recording being live and the messages showing up in chat. So if you're not getting a response straight away, I do apologize. Alright, so for anyone that hasn't done this, this is where you get to bait them. Send out a unit, bait them out, and then run. I'd probably be able to beat them just with these units. If you've got the time to waste, it's fun just to watch them come into the range of the artillery and they get obliterated. Who's got time for that? Do you mind me asking, who are you in WRK? I see the name Tofola on YouTube, but the only name that I can put in Warpath would be Taffy. Okay. Apologies. I'm sure you're quite a good player, obviously. WRK. They don't hold on to people who don't pull their weight, that's for sure. So what are your thoughts on Air Force AGs? Are you for it? I'm sure WRK are already preparing in case the update is released before the next C4. Especially because it's going to be air heavy. I think next live stream I'm definitely going to reduce the game delay on my chat. Almost there. Let's just check what's happening out here in case things are going astray. A little bit of time left, 10 minutes left. Yeah. Look, I'm expecting the use of the airspace control. Your top 3 air players will take 1 AG each, and they'll each send 1 unit to each other's, so you'll probably have 1 tanking, 2 fighting AGs. And you just make sure that the tanking one flies first if there's no formations. Again, speculating, but you know, that's probably the way I would do it. I like the bomber spam. Like, my base is so weak. Bombers will take out my base, no worries. And, you know, for a lot of alliances, you get 20, 30 members on with 1 half-decent Liberty bomber, and bases can't stand a chance without an Air Force AG defending, right? So there's a space for it. It's just, what's it going to look like, and is it just going to be another issue where we need to rebalance the game? ATGs and light tanks now get a anti-air buff. They've already came out with the patch that buffed our air defense of our base, which isn't much of a buff, to be perfectly fair. Let's see, how have I gone? 12 out of 14 helps. That's not too bad. I don't like wasting resources. Let's throw in Universal. I'm not putting in 2 days of rushes for a 1-day rush. So this is where people make huge mistakes. So if you are watching this and you're new to the game, I know I'm lucky enough to be talking to someone from WRK, right? So this guy, hands down, 100 times better game player than I am. But if you are new to the game and you're watching this, I almost got caught out using just my normal rushes, and it would have wasted a whole day's rush for 7 hours. So why would I? Yeah, massive loss. Simple things like this, right? Now, when you go back into rush and you change the quantity, make sure universal rushes are selected, all right? But here's the deal. I always go back 1 minute, because why waste a minute? That could have been 3 seconds, and it would use another minute's worth of rush to complete that upgrade. So in terms of maximizing your resources, universal rushes will bring you right to the very second, sometimes, of completing your research or your production. Do the quiz. Yeah, I should. Let me finish this research. I want to get to level 4. I can talk you through my useless knowledge of... I'm having a really bad day in the quiz, actually. To be perfectly honest. Lexa. Hi, Lexa. Yeah, I'm having a really bad day in the quiz. Don't know why. Now, I want to get this to 6, and I'll show you guys a little trick. When you go to the power grades, each power grade level gives you some bonuses, right? So entry level grade 3 is research speed, then firepower, HP, and penetration, sloped armor, right? When you get down to the lower levels, right, you can see that these buffs slightly build up and build up and build up. So yeah, the power grade of a unit impacts things. So it's pretty cool. There's all sorts of attributes and things that people don't realize. So when you come in here, it talks about the main unit, main weapon, load time, range. There's so many aspects that people don't bother to look at. And it might not be this unit. I should have a look, because the one that I'm looking for, maybe it's one of the changes on the new maps, on the new servers. It was that at grade level 7, super elite, increased research. There's regular research speed. There we go, at grade 6. Regular research speed. Yeah, the first one, there you go. So if you get all your units up to grade 6, you're going to boost all your research early on. So having these sit here at level 1 is not good. If I can get them all to level 6, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10% research speed buff. I am Super Spoon. Super Spoon is my... You can look at my channel. I post P2G content. So we just came off that massive gold one, come from behind victory. And when I say come from behind victory, it was gifted to us. We were, let's just say, very outgunned in our 4v4. The alliances were set up before the C4 started. There was no diplomacy whatsoever. HTR, Fantastic Alliance, and 101 got together and formed a 4v4 where it was the best 4 teams versus the lowest or the smallest 4 teams. We knew we would hold our own, which we did. We were able to win multiple battles where we were outnumbered. we equally lost. But you can see that 101 got greedy, and some issues arose with HTR. They got kicked out of the alliance, and we ended up getting gifted a touch in the middle, and we took over 101's share of the rewards in assisting HTR in removing them from the map. So yes, conquests, eh? But I think a lot of that stemmed down from the fact that P2G did not get safe zoned. We battled, even though we were losing ground on the map, we battled every single day, and we put up massive fights. And when I'm talking massive, I mean we had naval battles that lasted like 6 hours. So yeah, gameplay is huge for us. Activity is all times of the day. So if anyone's looking to have a rest from epic leagues, legendary players, well, we've had some really good players pop in. We've got some really good, strong players there at the moment. Multiple of them are trying to get poached. Yeah, no, not a problem. Yeah. One account in particular that is most known. Yeah, Rebel Zeus. Yeah, nice guy. Most people know P2G for Jaeger. Obviously one of the first players to get an account to 1 billion before he sold it. But yeah, Jaeger was in P2G for a very long time. He's having a break from the game at the moment. Rebel Zeus is fantastic. Yeah, we've got some really good strong players there. Not up to the questions. What have I done? Napoleon was born on August 15th. Where was he born? I think he was born in Corsica. Exited to Alba, and then came back, exited to St. Helena the second time. I can't remember. Too much history. Resetting a unit will reset a unit's level. No. Modification. Prototype level. It's blueprints. No, refunded blueprints. Oh, I'm confusing myself. Which of these defensive lines did France build? Is the Minot line. Should be nice and easy for everyone because Minot is the only French word there. Which of the following buildings can be used to convert blueprints? Convert blueprints. That is the workshop, not the disassembly plant, as one would think. To disassemble. Heat shells are designed to penetrate the armor. Yes, the shrapnel turns into shape charge. Which of the following tanks is not considered a third-gen main battle tank? No idea. Maybe I should know this. Let's go the Leopard. I think it's the T-62. Yeah, I should have stuck with my original thought. World War I. Which battle caused Germany's Western Front to collapse? That would be the Second Battle of the Marne. Too many turning points. Hard to keep track of all of them. Which of the following is not considered a strategic bomber? That would be the Nighthawk, isn't it? Spirit's a bomber. The Tu-22 is a bomber. The Nighthawk is a fighter. Hence the F for fighter. What is the max research speed boost you can get by upgrading your research? Is 30%. At max level you get 30%. Code name for tanks were water carriers. I'm just going to move the water carriers up to the front line. Surprise. The British ship did the German battleship Bismarck sink before itself? Was the Hood. Yeah, they played dumb. They tried to capture each other, and then they both sunk. Silly. Games people play with other people's lives, I guess. During war, what do you do? What rewards do you get from the unit manual for acquiring a new unit? You get all of it. Prestige, coupons, and blueprints. One of each. Attila the Hun was known as the Scourge of God. Yep. Horrible, horrible. The pain he inflicted on his own people, let alone what he did to people he tried to conquer. Which of these officers does not have the versatile tag? That would be Guardian of the Truth. He is a tanking officer. There we go. The Nighthawk. Ooh, who produced the Nighthawks? I think they're Lockheed's. I have a question. I recently came back to this game after being away for a while. Do you think it would be better to start a whole new account, or should I play catch-up? Good question. What troop attributes are affected by an officer's level? Firepower and health points. Rudy, great question. And it really comes down to the type of account and what you want to do. And probably the size of your account and how long you've been out of the game. If you've only been out of the game a few months, Gen 5 officers and the ability to earn statues is never been higher, all right? As much as people like to complain about the devs and what they're not doing in the game, the amount of statues available on a month-by-month basis is the highest it's ever been. So your ability to catch up on officers is the best chance you have of now progressing with the account that you have. And then, therefore, you only need to focus on catching up with your unit strength. Now, that can be modified quite easily if you change alliances. You can try and find yourself an alliance that will fit your current level of power. So you might be a gold level alliance when you left. You might want to find an alliance that's in silver 1, for instance, depending on where you're at. If you've been out for a few years, how much time do you have to invest into the game? If you enjoy the game and you want to start fresh, you can, but ultimately no account is unrepairable unless you're talking about your research and whether or not you're still enjoying your focused area. A lot of players who spread research out at the beginning has a little bit of research in tanks, infantry, artillery, and air. That's going to get you nowhere these days. You've really got to be research specific. Max out your advanced mechanics in one unit and then begin the next one. So depends how out of shape your account is. I hope that's making sense for you. Some of the newer players are going to have no idea what I'm talking about because their research center is only showing industry and military. But you can see here, guys, that there is 2, 4, 6, 7 other areas of research available, and that only gets unlocked as you progress through the game. So some of the things in chat, we're talking about advanced mechanics. You can always send me a screenshot, post it into the comments, and I'll give you a quick account review. Just unit officers research and your profile. And when I say profile, I mean more information. Or you can PM me in game if you don't want to post it publicly, and I can give you some private feedback Alright. So 1 and 2 is done. They've started the next build. I better get into position. I've been chatting for too long and missed the move. I've got to find a spot where my base will fit in. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. The one thing that I dislike about new servers, you've got to reteach players how to build without leaving open gaps. So what I'll do is I'll move out here, I'll take out that bunker, and I reckon I can squeeze just on the line in there. Yeah, time and effort counts for everything. So if you've drained a lot of hours into building an account and you walked away, is it worth sacrificing all that time and starting again? I can't answer that. That's up to you. I had an opportunity, like I am completely free to play, right? Well, 90% free to play. I've had a couple of gifts within the alliance of red cards and stuff like that. So gems have been gifted and I spend them when I get them as a thank you to the people who give them to me. But there was an opportunity to purchase an account at a heavily discounted price and I had to weigh up. I've put years of effort into my main account. Could I just throw it away and pick up someone else's and inherit whatever it is they've done? At the end of the day, I couldn't do it. The thought of throwing away my main account and putting all that work and effort into getting it to where it is, call me sentimental. If it's way far gone and you got an offer to come and play in a top alliance, maybe that would be enough to sweeten the deal. Depending on what quality of a player you were when you left, someone might recognize the name and go, wow, you're back, and play for us. I tell you now, if Jaeger ever returns to the game, he's getting an invitation from me instantly. I'll be like, mate, find yourself an account and come back. Alright, now we were looking at research and I've gotten to there. Alright, I don't think I have the resources or the speeds yet to go all the way, and I don't want to overdo it. I do need to make my infantry. So look at that, I've got a 3-day speed, and that's what it wanted to use before. So 2 days and 6 hours, it wanted me to use my 3-day speed. No thank you, save that. Alright, some of these up here, they're level 80, I think that's like a 20-day research. I haven't picked my focus. I'm focusing on infantry now because it's early game. The first unit you begin with is infantry, so I just wanted to show people that you don't need to go and spend and get new, bigger, better units. You can actually progress through the game with what it gives you. I did put some coupons in and got the rocket launcher instead of the... You either get a rocket launcher, a light tank, or an artillery. Sometimes you get the super heavy as your first 5-star unit. Mine was a rocket launcher, so I just ran with it. That's it. As far as progression, I'm just going to see where it takes me and what I need at the time. So Liberty infantry is just really, really good overall. It's good on defense and offense, being in the middle of the three. Which reminds me, this is my primary focus today is to max out my campaigns so I can claim my rapid resupplies. I'm not touching rapid resupplies until I start failing these. I've done so many videos in the last few days, I've neglected the one important thing to maximizing my units. But just like in the early game phases, alliance hopping until you find one that suits you, I very much hop around with units. I do not mind spending that 20 gold to reset a unit and try something different. Like, if this was all artillery and I found that I was failing, then yeah, I would reset the infantry and put all of my resources into another unit that was going to counter, just so I could pass the level. There's no need to make like super mega adjustments. 9 times out of 10 you can complete missions just by tweaking what you have, and knowing how to do it, I guess, is a benefit. There's some videos in the other playlists on my channel about the arena, and it discusses how I'm able to defeat whale accounts in the arena based on my understanding of the units and the officers and how the game dynamics work. Because 9 times out of 10 they're used to winning everything, so they don't care. They just slap together a team and throw it in there and attack. And even though it doesn't mean anything to them, in terms of resources for a free-to-play player, it's vital. Like, the arena payouts are massive. It's my primary source of drink tokens, and I'm not going to spend a fortune, if anything at all, on unlocking my exclusive lounge officers. So I need as many drink tokens as I can get. Now this might be the first one that we fail, because in my rush to get here and not realizing this mission was next, I have not upgraded my air. So yeah, when I do this, that's not going to work, because the fighter's going to shoot down my fighter, and it's going to shoot down my bomber. Yep. And yep. It's got a lot more health points than I realized. Alright, let's rush it. forget how fun some of these are. So my tank is currently taking the artillery fire, which is good. I wanted it to take the fire. No, now it's going for my infantry. Go away! Right. You take out that. Wonder if I can sneak around the back. That's going to be handy if I only have to take out one. I think the first time I did this, I came in with 2 Liberty bombers and I just rushed the turret. I put all of my resources into the Liberty bomber and rushed the turret and ended the map in the first 5 seconds. There we go. Another increase. Nice. That's what we want. Now, here's my base. What's happening? Something's coming back. My resources. That was closer than I realized. Look at that. Just enough room to get into the build zone. Yeah, it's a good idea. Migration. Take your account down to a newer server, join an alliance at a lower level, and build up with them. 100%. It's a good way to look at it. You'll definitely find an alliance at the same level. Fighting in silver right now. If you find an alliance, a family alliance, and there's a lot of them out there, doesn't have to be P2G, but we have 4 alliances of P2G. So we've got the P2G main, and if you're going on vacation, you need a holiday, you go to P2GA. That's our academy. So we train people up, we teach them to run AGs, we teach them to lead in the academy. We've got P3G, so new players who are starting new accounts, or building up, they want to learn, or people who are going AFK for a long time. We've got accounts in there. And then we've got P4G. Alright, so you can always find an alliance that has a similar family set up like that. So you'll find something that suits or fits for your level. Running bunkers, hey? Let's get in on that. It's been really... I forget how bad level 1 maps are for resources. What did you say? Was it 180 mil? I'm just going back through the chat. Sorry, I've got dual screen. 180 mil, I think. Yeah. No, not going to be hard to find an alliance. Not at all. 180 mil would fit you into our P3G. Just as an example. And you'd get into P3G, no questions asked. Obviously, you need the migration tickets to get to our server. So that would be the hard part if you're coming back. You would now need to find a location to save up the migration tickets in order to jump. Yeah, well, anytime, mate. I'm fortunate I am one of the R4s in our main alliance. Mr. Support and Strategy Extraordinaire. Not really. I'm just an old timer that they can't get rid of. But fortunate enough, I do have a little bit of pull and weight in letting players in. So yeah, if you were to come to 87 and ask to join, I'd let you in, no questions asked. Being part of the family, you also get the benefit of joining us on Discord, and you have access to all of our specialists. So we have players that do account checks and maximization. So we're about to go into one this week, actually. Everyone has to submit some screenshots of their accounts, and we will check to make sure that everyone's running optimized and maximized accounts. So we have players in the alliance, and that's their role, is to check on everyone to make sure that their progression is going the right way. And we don't force you to do anything, but we offer suggestions on what's going to make you stronger, having adjustments in your setups, your loadouts, making sure your attack and your defense strategies are optimum for what you have. After every conquest, you get smashed with rewards. So, you know, you unlock new officers, new units, you get upgrades, your research changes, you get new skills on officers. So what you had when you came into the C4 isn't what you're left with at the end. Migration tickets was something that I started doing in the early days, thinking that everyone would get migration tickets. Why would they be available if it wasn't something that we used a lot of all the time? And then I found out that migrating wasn't really a big thing. So yeah, I've got a stack sitting there that I've never used, and now I've just stopped purchasing. I have no intentions of leaving anytime soon unless they kick me out, which is why I'm part of the furniture. They refer to me as old man. I think it has more to do with the fact of my knowledge, more so. I joke around that I had a pet dinosaur, and as an educator, my first student was God. My first dating app was carbon dating. So you can see the dual frontline offense of the bunker and the heavy tank works. It just creates that protective barrier for the rocket launcher. That was a perfect example there. Alright. I might get through this last one and then we'll go on a break. I need to go get some dinner. It is a little later than I realised here in Australia. Of course, it is Friday afternoon here. For any Americans who are living in the past, yeah, Friday afternoon. Again, fighters and camp and bombers. Depends on your strategy. I believe, is it the Martyrs bomber? I believe the Martyrs bomber is good for tanks. Liberty bomber is good for fortifications. My infantry just came from the scenic route. No idea. It was completely off the map. Couldn't even see it on the screen. I just heard someone airlift in next to my base. So after this one, I'll exit out. My scout planes have returned. What? Should be on auto scout. Alright guys, I'm going to stop the stream there. Thanks for popping in. I'll be back on later, so if you're in game, feel free to send me a message. And remember, if you have any questions about game-related content, officers, units, anything like that, just leave a message in the comments section. And if I can't turn it into a video, I'll make sure that I respond to you in a message or reply comment. Alright guys, thanks for your time, and we'll catch you soon.